The Sex Ed with Tim podcast is recorded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands.
You're listening to Sex Ed with Tim.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. I am your host, Tim, certified sex educator. I identify as a chaotic homosexual, and I may have a 2-inch penis, but I can lick the bottom of a Pringles can. I don't know if I like that or if I'm disgusted by it. Oh God, I hate the people who are submitting these things. It's so stupid. Anyways, hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this episode. I'm actually kind of nervous about putting this out again because it is with someone I care about a lot. So a little bit of context. First of all, I apologize for the audio. It does sound kind of shitty, but I'll explain why. I just had sex. Like, literally, Raj and I, were covered in sweat and cum, and I decided to bust out my phone and record the following conversation, so that's why the audio sounds a little meh. But I wanted to share this conversation with you all because I thought it was really sweet and special, and it really shines a light on the nature of sex work and intimacy. And also, I just really love this guy so much. I appreciate him for everything that he does and all the things that he does for me, does on me. And yeah, so what you're gonna hear is literally the raw and unedited audio, just like how I like my sex, raw and unedited. I don't know what that means, unedited sex. Yeah, you know what, I'm rambling. I'm just gonna leave you guys to it to listen to the episode, and I hope you enjoy. I'll see you at the end. Bye. Oh boy. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh my God. So. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Tim. How are you?
We're here in bed naked.
Yes, we are.
Freshly fucked bodies. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In that post-fuck haze.
The post-fuck haze, the soaking in our own bodily fluids.
Our natural juices. We're marinating.
Oh my God, so all my listeners out there, I'm literally recording this immediately after we just had sex.
True story.
Oh my God, I'm here with Raj, one of my lovers. It was so good. Oh my God, okay. I don't know why I'm nervous now as I turned the mic on.
Are you nervous?
I didn't even say it was going to be an interview. It was just a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
I know, right? Because I just wanted to, I just wanted to talk about our sex.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh my God. Okay. I think that this was literally one of the best times we've ever had sex to date.
Oh, absolutely. It was amazing.
What do you think that was?
I think it's just our sense of openness.
Openness.
I think it's just.
I was open.
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Wide open.
I can attest to that. Yes, very, very open. But I think it's just throughout our times getting to know each other, and I think also just in my own life doing my own self-healing and things like that. So it allows me whenever we have our time together to be able to let go that much more and really tap into, your essence. Your erotic essence.
What's that? What do you mean by erotic essence?
Yeah, just because I feel like we have there's the erotic and the intimate. They're just kind of like these two different channels, which have a nice little dance together. So it's just like the way I describe it is whenever I have sessions and things like that, it's just when I'm fully in myself and in my full authentic self, I'm able to feel how another person erotically expresses themselves and to really tap into that and co-create with that person and create what we created.
I agree. I think it's because, you and I have had sex how many times? So many. We've been.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to count now, but for whatever reason, the first time we had sex, it was absolutely amazing. But this time around, when you and I had sex, it was mind blowing. It was the first time times 100.
Oh, amazing.
And that's kind of why I'm still floaty and a little bit high.
Well, this is good. This is good.
And for me, I think it was so good because we both went into this space being the bedroom, with so much intention.
Yeah.
The intention being just be present.
Yes.
To be there, to be loving, to be just, with each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's what makes sex so great now. I don't know whether it's kinky or vanilla.
Yeah.
Intention, I think, is so important.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think I've been doing this since 2014. So however long ago that was.
We're gay. We can't do math.
Whatever. Yeah. And the intention of, I remember starting out and initially it was always about, getting hard. It was that was the, right. And so that would be the initial thing, but we'll have to make sure that happens. Yeah. But then that makes it very mechanical because then it's more about that than the actual experience that you both share. Yeah. So I know that when I start a session, it's very much about, it's just about setting the intention of being able to provide a space in which, there's intimacy and pleasure that's felt and just coming from that place where there's mutual respect and just go from there. Yeah. Yeah. And so setting that sort of intention is, I think it's magical what can happen.
I think so too. What got you into the whole escorting business in the first place?
Well, I used to work in sexual health, right? Prevention, HIV/AIDS work, and facilitating support groups for gay, bi, South Asian men. And it was something that had always sort of intrigued me, but I wasn't sure why. I thought it was more of a thrill or a kink or something. You're it's hot. Somebody's
You're using it as a pickup?
Paying me to have sex. You know what I mean? I thought it was more is that it? I'm is that it? I'm we'll try it. And if it is, then it'll be whatever.
A lot of escorts go into the business thinking that too, eh?
Yeah. And so I'm there's
just for the money.
Yeah. And there's that, there's just sort of I'm okay, that's kind of hot being a paid, being paid for sex kind of situation. But then there's that aspect, but then I realized there's a deeper sort of thing to it where I'm okay, this provides healing for people, which it was very much which I wasn't expecting.
When did you first realize that there was a healing aspect to escorting?
I would say it was probably the first summer that I was doing this full time. So I would say, it was, and I had like 2 or
Hold
3.
that thought.
Yes.
Your cum is dripping out of my ass. Right now. 1 sec. 1 sec. I'm a little distracted. Well, okay, keep going.
It happens sometimes, you know.
That's how liquids do.
Exactly. That's beautiful. I love that. I had a couple of clients who had a very similar story. They were, you know, older men who have grown children whose wives had passed away, and they had just realized that they have not had any, you know, gay experiences. They're just like, oh my God, I'm like this gay person, but I haven't really had any experiences. And I remember showing up to the session and they were just terrified, like so scared. And they're just kind of like, oh my God, like, do we get into it? Like, do we get into the, like, you know, like, and I remember he was just like, he was like sweating through his shirt. I remember this one guy. And so I'm like, hey, listen, I'm like, why don't you just, let's sit down and let's, I want to hear your story, you know?
Yeah.
And to just provide that space for somebody to just share who they are, and then to connect that with, eventually when we went to the physical aspect of the session, was so incredible to watch somebody where you first enter into the space and they're completely in their heads because they're so scared and they're like, what the fuck am I doing? And then at the end of the session, we're, you know, kind of like how we are like right now, the sense of like, you know, calm peace. And peace being, hey, it's cool to be in my body. It's okay to be in my body. And I remember watching that and being like, okay, this is something here. Like I'm like, this is why I'm doing this, because just to watch somebody just settle into their body into that way,
have like a physical reaction or a change in.
Yeah. Just to watch that, was I'm like, okay, I like, this is, I want to continue doing this. There's something here.
Yeah. And when was that? 2014, you said?
I would say no, this was probably 2016, I believe.
So 2 years into your...
Yeah, I would say 2 years. 2016 is when I started doing it like full time.
Oh, I see.
And so that's when I remember having these sessions of people who were either, well, like that was one, or there's, what do you call it? I had another client where there was a lot of body shame. So he was like an older gay man. Oh. You know, I had like elderly parents and stuff. And
oh my God, a gay man with body image issues? Unheard of.
Since when?
That's never happened.
I know,
before.
never. When he had sex, I remember when we had our sessions, it was just like he didn't want to take his clothes off.
And I'm at a loss for words because it's like, don't you need to take your clothes off?
Well, he likes sucking dick, so
okay, fair.
Yeah. So then it was just like,
your dick is very suckable.
Oh, thank you.
It was very delicious.
You're very kind.
So was your ass.
But then what was interesting was like, so that I remember that was like our first session, and kind of similar to sessions I was talking about before, where our sessions would start where I would show up and there would be this conversation that would be had. And, you know, talking about, oh, like, so have you been dating people? Like, what's going on, kind of thing. And then slowly what ended up happening is in our sessions, like, the clothes would start to come off. Right? And then I remember it had been like a few months, and then I got a message from him. And he said, oh, I just wanted to let you know I'm like dating somebody now, and that you helped me not be scared of intimacy. So like I feel like I'm able to like not be scared. Like I'm not scared of intimacy. You helped me with that. I just want to let you know.
I can take my clothes off in front of another person.
Yeah.
I can be emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah. It was so beautiful. And I remember getting that text message, and that was like another moment where you're just like, wow, this is like, that's so beautiful. It was like, yeah.
It's so sweet. Oh my God. How is he now?
He's good. I haven't heard from him in a bit.
He hasn't hired you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I just remember getting that message and just being like, okay, there's a degree that this is something that's healing for people.
Yeah.
So providing a space for this, yeah.
But are there other instances where you think it's like, maybe not healing, but rather just like, I don't know, they literally just want to dump their cum inside someone? Is that really healing?
Well, I mean, everybody's different in what they like, but right. I remember I had one incident where there was like, I remember showing up and we always book for like an hour at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And just cause like, I don't like to like rush. And it's also just like, there's, like, you know, and then I showed up and then he's like, oh, by the way, he's like, oh, I actually have to like go like, soon or whatever. He's like, okay, so like, let's get started. And then he just kind of like grabs my dick and it's just like, and then to just be like, oh yeah, like, let's like get this started. And the minute that happened, my body like shut it down. And it was just like, I did it for like, we're like making out for like 2 minutes and I'm like, I gotta go. Cause my body's like, no.
It's just not happening because you felt some sort of pressure? Or? It
was just like that sense of being, I felt like, not like a person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so like, it was like, because it's like he grabbed my dick and it was very much about just like, okay, so now let's get this thing hard so you can like fuck me. And it was very much like that kind of feeling. And so then I remember when my body felt that and just like was just like, I'm not doing anything. I remember leaving that session and it was just like, okay, well, that was a lot. And I remember like journaling about it and being like, okay, that is what it feels like when it's like when you're not being treated like a person.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what? Yeah. Sex workers are people too?
Yeah. Go figure, right? Weird. Yeah. Apparently we are.
Oh my God, you're not just a piece of meat?
Yeah.
No way.
Right?
So what do you do in that situation where your body just shuts down? Do you just like call the session off and like, here's your money back? I can't. Like...
That's essentially what I did. Cause he's just like, I was just like, okay, I gotta go. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't do this. And I just laughed. And
oh my God, did you hear back from him?
I like he messaged me. He's like, oh, like what happened, kind of thing. And I was just kind of like,
he treated me like an object.
Yeah. But it was interesting because in his mind, he probably didn't. I don't know whatever he was thinking.
He thought that he wasn't in the wrong whatsoever.
Yeah. But with me, it was just like, I think it was a learning for me to know the difference between when somebody's respecting you and when like, or when it's like two human beings meeting and, you know, and co-creating an experience together as opposed to like, you know, you are this machine or something.
Right.
And so that was also like another learning for me when you're talking about intention, right? Mm-hmm. Because to come from a place of like, oh, I have to make sure my dick gets hard is like, that's like, it completely dehumanizes the experience because it completely takes the other person out of it, right? Without authentically meeting something, right? Exactly. And so like setting that intention of being like, okay, I'm in my fullness and I'm, you know, my intention is to create a space in which, you know, like I said, intimacy and pleasure can be experienced and always coming from that intention. Right. So I think it was such a good learning for me to know what that felt like. Yeah. To have like a felt sense of like the difference between what that is.
Yeah, because you also learn about your own boundaries and like what are you capable of as a sex worker.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
exactly.
Now, I like when you were telling that story, I have a smile on my face because it's mostly coming from a place of like, I sound like a better client than that guy.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
I want to go back to when you and I first met and first chatted. What made you agree to seeing me as a client, barely knowing me whatsoever?
I think I really enjoyed, like, I mean, generally, like I will.
This is just for my ego. I just want to be like a little bit of a narcissist. You know, what did you like about me?
Tell me I'm amazing.
Tell me I was good.
No, I mean, I loved the openness. And what I really love is when people just fully just shared like, oh, this is like what I'm about. Yeah. And this is like what I like. And just like really like you're very forthcoming with that. And, you know, just with your with your politics and the things that you were like, you know, I just remember the message. You're so warm and just like, so like.
Besides my high metabolism and my high body temperature, I am literally warm.
Yeah, I just remember like, and meeting you, you just have a really beautiful energy. And it's just,
thank you.
And I always love that. There's that's like my favorite type of client where you're just like, oh, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to experience kind of situation, and just being open in that way.
Have I ever pressured you into doing anything?
No. I never felt that.
Good. Because I don't want that.
Yeah. My body would probably shut it down.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever asked you or forced you to be hard.
No.
You know.
Never.
Right?
No.
Because when I see you, I don't necessarily expect penetrative sex. I just want to have sex in the way that you and I, in the way you and I just have sex, which is just so full of intent and love and care.
Absolutely.
And you just happen to get hard every single time.
Yeah. And it's just, that's the thing, like because I find it just like not like when I would just separate it out where you're just like getting your dick hard, it's just like, I have this entire body, right? And it's just like it was about just being like, you have to let your whole body like move with this person, right? Yeah. And just, it's beautiful what can unfold from that. Just like the things that can be felt and experienced from that place.
Yeah, because sex is a full body experience. It's not just the genitals.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's not just, fuck me, daddy. I mean, it can be, but in my opinion, and how I've evolved over time as a sexual being, I find that sex has to have some sort of, some sort of personal meaning to me, like whether I'm engaging in kink or vanilla. And to me, when you and I have sex, what that means to me is love, because you and I, we love each other so much, right? Like,
of course.
Like I love you.
Yeah.
Raj, like so much. Like, even if we are just like in the bedroom, I'll see you outside and be like, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I fucking love him. Because like you and I can be friends too.
Yeah.
Not just like client to escort. Yeah. Like, we can go out and have a drink or something. And I feel like that's also something that a lot of people misunderstand, is that clients and escorts should only be business, but you can draw boundaries.
Yeah, it's about. I think that's what you said. Like you just said it is the boundaries thing, right? Which is like just keeping, and it's always a fine line, right? Yeah. With that, and it's just about establishing that with your with that, because like there's sometimes you do have clients who will fall in love with you, who will overstep. Where it's just a very constant, and you're just kind of like, okay, we have, this is our primary relationship is this kind of thing, and it's beautiful, and I want to keep that, and I think it's very special, and I want to nurture that. But it's about keeping those boundaries.
Have you had a client that has like professed their love to you to the point of like, marriage, be my boyfriend? Yes.
I mean, there's like, there's been ones who have just been like, oh, like I would want to like date you or something like that kind of situation, like that. I guess like that. But that's it. Yeah, that's kind of like what that's about.
Because I have had marriage proposals. Some client, I forget his name, he told me how he was threatening to leave his wife for me.
Wow.
I was like, you have wildly misunderstood the nature of our relationship. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So like, and I was only, I believe 20 or 21. I didn't know how to communicate my own boundaries. I mean, to this day, I still don't know. Even in therapy, that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to learn boundaries. But I just didn't know how to communicate to him that like, I like our working relationship.
Exactly.
And so when he like said that he was threatening to leave his wife, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's so hard. I mean, I guess in general, boundaries are hard.
Yeah, they can be, because if you're not used to making boundaries, or you've never had them, it's like a muscle that you build, right?
Is this like your psych degree talking right now?
If I had a psych degree, but it's like
you're doing your courses in psych.
Yeah, I'm doing a certification. Like it's like to be like a counselor kind of situation,
which is so amazing. I mean, I can't ever go to you for counseling. That'd be such a big conflict.
That would be an ethical. There'd be some ethical considerations around that one. Yes.
Can you believe I'm sleeping with my therapist? Although that has happened in some instances where I'm like, wow, they're still practicing even if they've slept with the client or sent their client nude pictures. Like,
oh man, that's an ethical nightmare.
I mean, like, you are so good looking and very easy to love. So I can imagine that there would be clients, whether they are in a therapeutic sense or in a sex work sense, that would like fawn over you. How would you like draw your boundaries over and over again? And would that be exhausting for you?
I mean, luckily, like, I haven't had like a lot of that, so which I'm grateful for. But yeah, it's just, I think doing my counseling certification in the last couple of years has been really great, because it's taught me how to establish, like, it's important to establish those boundaries when you're like, okay, we have like, we even have scenarios in class where we're just like, where you have like a client who's just like, oh, I feel like we have this connection and we should like, yeah, you know what I mean? And we should like do this, like, I want to go with you. Like, maybe we should like go out sometime kind of thing. Right. And so when that happens, it's just like, I think what was great is I was taught to just be like, okay, I really, love our connection. I love our connection. It's amazing. And I
appreciate it.
I appreciate it and I treasure it, kind of thing. But no, this, like, we can't, like, it doesn't go past that. Right. And because there's that sense of just like, oh, like, when you're a therapist, like, there's a person telling you like their entire, like, life story, and they're like, oh, we're like best friends kind of thing. It's like, no, like, it's like, I'm not your best friend, because the thing is like, this is one way, right? Like I'm creating a space for you to express yourself, right? Kind of thing. And that's what this is about. You're like, I really love our connection, but it's not that kind of thing. Right. And yeah, that's a work in progress, but that's just going to happen. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you a story real quick about this one time in therapy? My therapist called me out on my subconscious transference. Okay. Where he was like, Tim, I want you to remember that I'm not your father. Oh my God. Drag me. Because I was starting to like project my unrequited feelings of fatherly love to my therapist, because I'm like, my relationship with my dad was a little rocky.
That makes sense.
And then in comes this like male figure who's also gay and who's listening to me. And then I started like coming to him with like, father-son type of needs. And he was like, Tim, remember, I'm your therapist, not your father. Like, oh my God. So I just find drawing boundaries is so difficult.
Oh yeah, especially in these realms, right?
Yeah.
These realms,
in the realm of sex work, especially.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yes.
Hey, you sick motherfuckers! I've got a special treat for you. Need a new toy to spice up your sex life? Head over to loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and get yourself a cock ring, a dildo, a vibrator, or even a life-sized sex doll. Damn, I guess love really does come in all shapes and sizes. Get 15% off your entire order when you use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout. They're shipping to all of Canada and the United States because North America is horny. That's loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and use code SEXEDWITHTIM for 15% off your entire purchase. Happy orgasm! Do you like feeling sexy and looking sexy? Of course you do. Only my listeners are sexy as fuck. I have partnered with fetishwear designer Dale Kuda to bring you the hottest deals on custom jock straps, harnesses, hats, and more. Head over to dalekuda.com, that's DALEKUDA.com, and use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout for 25% off the entire store. Yeah, you heard me. 25% off. And cherry on top, free shipping. Oh my god. I have a few of the stuff that he has made for me, and girl, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing like a little jock strap so that I could easily just like slip a little butt plug or dildo every now and then here and there, and I'm on the train. I'm just like, thank you, Dale. That's dalekuda.com with the code SEXEDWITHTIM for 25% off your entire purchase with free shipping. With a deal like that, I swear I could come buckets, honey.
The show is about to begin.
Yes.
So, what are some of your boundaries? This is a personal question. Whether it be sexual or intimate. Like, you and I can say I love you to each other. This is like great.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a form of like we get why we do it kind of thing. Right?
Like, what are your absolute like non-negotiable? This is thing, and like if you cross it, being treated like an object.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like the minute that starts to happen, like I've had like another client who was a regular.
Yeah.
Where we had one session where he was wanting me to, there was like a sense of he wanted me to come like again, right?
Oh, I hate that.
And so then it was like one of those situations where it was almost like a guilting thing that started to happen where I was just like, and I remember when that session ended, I felt awful. I was just
that
like,
you didn't come?
I felt like I violated myself.
Oh no.
Because I was like trying to do it. Right. And it was just like, and after that happened, I was just like, okay, like that's like not a thing. Or when another client, where it was like, he liked certain amount of things kind of thing. Like, this is what I like kind of thing. And very particular kind of thing. And so.
What were they, if you can remember?
Sorry?
What were they, if you can remember?
No, it was just like, it was like, he liked, there was like, he liked being fucked kind of thing.
He had a long laundry list.
Yeah. But it was more like his reaction to, because the thing is like, whenever we have like, these like the space that we both have, it's just like, it's so free flow, and like what can go down, it's just feeling different things and all that kind of stuff. But in this instance, it was very much like, it didn't go exactly in his mind. Like, and we had a few sessions, like this is like, and then it went in a particular way. And then one session, it went in like another way. Right.
Oh.
And then where it was just like, I think it was like, I wasn't able to, I think I was like, I got hard, but there was like moments where like I wasn't kind of thing, like during the thing, whatever the case, when that happened, it was just like, and I think they're also like, on top of this, it was probably some mental health kind of situations also happening. And then getting like a really like awful like message kind of thing where you're just like, where you like somebody's like calling you names, and I'm just kind of like,
wait, what?
Yeah, it was just like, it was crazy.
What do you mean like name calling? Like,
yeah, he's just like
slurs.
Yeah, like slurs and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
I did not consent to that whatsoever.
Yeah. So like, it's like that sense of like, it's really important for me to, I think the boundaries is like, we're both two people coming together, and facilitating the space. And this is, and keeping it in that realm.
Right.
And keeping it in that realm where it's just like, if making sure that like it's not bleeding too much over into like my other life, where you're just kind of like, okay, no, we meet in these instances, and this is where it is, kind of thing, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So if you and I were to meet in public, we just be like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah, and some people, I sometimes would just be like, "Oh, we just say hi," or like if I don't. Like I won't say anything unless somebody comes up and addresses me.
Right.
And I think it's similar to like what they also is funny enough to teach us in therapy, right? It's just very much like where you wouldn't usually go up to someone and be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" kind of thing. Yeah. Because sometimes it could be like maybe they're in a situation at home where they're like,
they're just absolutely catatonic.
Or they're living with somebody who they didn't tell them that they're in therapy. Yeah. And they're doing this for themselves. And so if you go up to them and just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know what I mean? Like, I always keep it in that way where like I have seen, not on rare occasion, like a client, but it's very much like, I'll keep it very much like, you know what I mean? Unless they come up and they'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" kind of thing. And they're like, they're, but generally, it's about, it's confidentiality is really important to me.
Right. Because there is a certain, I guess the right word is power dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a power dynamic there. And it's just like, and confidentiality is just it's so important, right?
Discretion.
And it's discretion, like all of that, right? So then it's always about, like, if I see somebody in public being like, if there's no acknowledgement, then I'm not going to do it. Otherwise, it's just, you.
I'm the opposite. I'll see in public, like, I fucked him.
Yeah.
Fucked him. Fucked him and his brother and his father.
Yeah.
I'm just trash.
Yeah.
Those are my pronouns. Come dump. Piss pig. Dirty whore.
Love.
Oh my God. Now, I'm also just, again, being narcissistic. Let's go back to a play-by-play of our sex today. I just want to go with their play-by-play because I think at this point in our, I guess we can call it a relationship. At this point in our relationship, we have like this, I don't know, this dynamic where we kind of just understand each other at this point now. Would you agree?
Yeah, there's just like, there's a sense of comfort, right?
Yeah.
Because we know, and we like, when we come together, it's very much like, it's very like open, no expectations. Yeah. It's very just like, you come here to get, like you said, setting that intention, right?
Yeah.
And so then I think it's because of that sense of just like, okay, we're just here, and then we're like surrendering to the moment, just like letting things unfold.
I also come to you because like I don't want to be distracted while I'm volunteering at a bathhouse and like I gotta get dick.
Yeah.
But instead it's like I have Raj's come inside of me, so I'm fine.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Okay.
I'm glad I can help you with your outreach. That's amazing.
Well, it's just not get me distracted. No, but like for you and me today, like I want to talk specifically today.
Yeah.
It felt so much more different than the last several dozen times you and I have had sex, because there was just something so magical about the way our bodies and minds connected. I felt that you, I mean, like, first of all, great dick. Delicious ass.
Thank you. You as well.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
I was fishing for that compliment. Just the way that, like, when I was on my back and you were inside of me and missionary, and the way our foreheads touched, and the way that we were embracing each other, and how your sweat was just like dripping on me, which was so hot.
Yes.
I don't know, like, not to get all woo-woo and everything, but like, it felt like an alignment of our chakras, maybe?
Yeah, and it's like, whenever I do this work, I'm very spiritually aligned when it comes to doing this kind of work.
I like that.
So it's just like, that's something I always integrate spirituality and everything that I do, including this work. So
we
it's
need
just
more
like,
spiritual sex workers.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like when it's part of setting that intention and bringing that sense and just surrendering to that connection, right? And it's beautiful once that, you know, to be able to facilitate a space in which that can happen. It's amazing what can unfold and what can be experienced, because you really your body, you allow your body to feel things that maybe you wouldn't allow it to feel in other ways, right?
I mean, like a dick inside my ass, that's my body feeling. No, but the reason I come to you so much, pun intended, is because I just love being so authentic around you and so relaxed. Like, I come every session knowing that, like, I'm gonna have a good time with Raj.
Yes, I love that.
Just because I don't expect anything from him. He doesn't expect anything from me. But without fail, every single session, we end up having the most mind-blowing sex. Like,
yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean.
With every session being better than the last, I'm like, wow. I'm getting hard again just talking about
amazing.
this.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you don't mind if I just like touch myself a little bit while we talk. But yeah, have you ever had to like turn down a client due to, I don't know, like, have you been unattracted to someone, or like they just had a very specific request where you're just like, oh, I don't want to do that.
I mean, the only, like I said, there was that one incident I told you about, right?
Yeah.
Where there was that. Doing this work, I didn't realize that it was like something I was able to do. And generally when, no matter who shows up to my door, it's just about connecting to them.
Individually.
Yeah, to the individual and their energy and how their body works, right? And that's very much about, and that's not even that's not like a physical thing. It's just like it's connecting to somebody in this there, and how they, I guess, I don't know why I say erotic essence, but that's only for some reason.
I like it.
Does that make sense?
I like erotic essence. It's a part of who you are, and it's your blueprint.
Yeah, and however that is. So it's just like, and that's when I realized I had this ability to be able to do that, to connect to somebody in that way, even if it's somebody, like if somebody shows up and it's somebody I'm completely like not like attracted to physically, right? And then, but it's not about that. It's not about that.
Like your physical attraction is not your priority or whatever.
It's about my priority is about facilitating a space for somebody to experience intimacy and pleasure, no matter what their body looks like, no matter what they look like.
But you are attracted to me, though.
Everybody is just.
Wow.
No, just kidding. You're the cutest. What are you talking about?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to be rewarded for being so good looking.
My main thing is to be able for people to be able to experience, to experience like pleasure and intimacy. And doesn't matter what your body looks like, doesn't matter what you look like, everybody deserves it.
Right. Are all of your sessions like sexual and clothes off, or have there been some where it's just like, oh, I just want to cuddle for an hour?
There's like, it's a mix sometimes. Where, there's like, sometimes there's a big part of it is cuddling. Sometimes it's just like holding and like sleeping. Sometimes like that's just like holding each other and like sleeping kind of thing.
And just cuddling and taking a nap.
Yeah. We'll have sex, and like there was one client who had like who I haven't seen in a while, but that was the thing where we would have sex and then a nap would just kind of like naturally happen. Because that's part of somebody's experience of intimacy, right? Like how they're able to, I guess it's almost like integrating like both of like those parts of yourself, like the erotic part of yourself, the intimate part of yourself, and how you can like how you can like connect them both, or let them, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? be able to, I guess, like integrate them both, because like you have sex, which is just like, that's one way of like experiencing a connection, which is an erotic connection. And then like when you go into this other part, which is a more intimate, where you're just like, okay, so now we're just holding each other and sleeping, or this, what we're doing right now, we're sitting and talking, which is also very intimate, right? So like, and I think it's very fascinating to see how different people do that. Because some people would just be like, the sex happens and they'd be like, okay, I'm done. Right?
I hate that.
Which is, and that's one way. That's one way
it's
people
one
do
way,
it.
But it's not for me. Yeah.
And that's like, and some people where it's just like, they have it, but then once they're done, they're like, okay, that was really great. And then they want to go, which is fine. That's just what
that's what you needed.
That's what you needed, right? That's what you needed. And all of that, like everything just happens within like that, the whole like physical part about it. And then some people, it's different. It's something like where you and I will have, where it's just like, okay, there's like it's like a little bit of both.
I need great sex to include the rough fucking and the dirty talk, and also some fucking aftercare would be nice, please. Like right now, lying in bed naked and just talking and like me giving you that massage because you like receiving a massage. I like giving the massage. That was just so nice on my hands where I'm like, oh yes, knots. Literally, I'm not even kidding. When I undo your knots, it was like popping bubble wrap, just like, oh,
that's amazing.
Yes.
and I think that's a way of, aftercare or integrating. It's like integrating like that care you gave to your body, right? And just like doing something like that where you're just like holding, or like, you're like massaging. It's just like you're letting just like that. You're just like letting that wash over you. You're just letting that integrate into your body as you do that, right? So that you can bring that into your everyday, right?
How would that look like into your everyday? Like, what's the concrete?
I always tell people that like whenever they leave, like, and you're relaxed and you're grounded, and every day would be like, you're going to Steamworks after this. Yeah. And this is like, you're just like, oh, I can focus.
I'm going to be in the zone. Yeah.
You're going to be in a zone. Or people be like, it helps them when they are able to express this part of themselves. They're like, okay, now I have this extra energy, or I have this space because I created this space for myself. I'm able to, like, more of me is doing life.
Right. Yeah. Because when you are authentic in the bedroom, you can bring that authenticity outside the bedroom. Like, when the most concrete example I can think of is consent and boundaries, where you say, I don't want this, I don't want that, or I want this, or I want that. I want you to fuck me in the ass. I don't want you to tickle my neck. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then if you can do that so intimately with yourself, I feel that you can do that, like, I don't know, in customer service or the bank or work or whatever. It's like, I don't want this deadline to be so soon. I would like it. I would like an extension or something like that. And I feel like that's, the most concrete example I can think of.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's like, what it does is it just brings more presence into your body, because the thing is like because you're allowing your body like to experience just like unconditionally, to allow your body to experience pleasure and intimacy, and be like, just like letting your body have that. So then it helps bring that sense of presence into your life, because you feel more grounded in who you are. You feel more, it's another way to feel me like, oh, like when I was talking about those sessions I would have, watching somebody going from like their head into the rest of their bodies, like that presence, being like, oh, it's okay to be in my body. You bring that into your everyday, like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. When you just ground yourself.
Yeah. And you're just treating your body, you'd be like, it's a way of just being like, yeah, like I deserve intimacy and pleasure and to be touched and all those kinds of things. And allowing yourself to experience that, brings more presence in your body, because you want to be more present in your body. Yeah. Because you like being in it.
I mean, there have been times where I dissociate, and I think that's more of just like a trauma response.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's very hard to be in your body and to just appreciate your body. I find that to be my own personal challenge. And luckily, I haven't done that with you yet. I think it's because you have this effect on me where you just are able to subconsciously tune into my, like you said, my erotic essence.
Yeah, it's you feel safe.
I do. I always feel safe with you, and this is why I love you so much. And like I keep coming back to you, and just like
I love that. I love you too.
Oh, this is. You're like, I can't even. Like, I want to sing your praises. You're truly just like one of my most favorite people.
Oh, I love that.
It's just so magical what you do in bed and outside of the bedroom. Like, you're go-go dancing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, when did you start go-go dancing?
About 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah. What do you get? Why and what do you get out of it?
Well, I love to dance. And it's just another form of expression that's just I enjoy doing. It's like freestyle. It's like it's kind of like, I guess if you could do like a parallel, it's just like when I have those sessions with people where you're just kind of like let go and just like let your body move however it's going to move. Like dancing's kind of like that too, where you're just kind of like letting your body just move however it wants to move and just move. It's just like, it feels amazing.
Sex and dance. I mean, sex is
it's kind of a dance.
Form of a dance.
It's a kind of a dance.
To the tango, except there's like a penis inside a butt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. Yeah. And you're going to be go-go dancing soon.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, it's happening.
Do you have your routine set up and everything?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just like, it's not really like I just show up and it's just, you just dance to the beats and the people and interact. And it's just like, it's just about like livening up the crowd. And
do you find that dancing has some sort of connection to your erotic essence in a way that's like helping you live or present your most authentic self?
Yeah, I guess not so much, I guess, erotically, but it's another.
I mean, go-go dancing is erotically charged.
It is. You're right. Yeah. When there's, yes, you're right. Yeah. So there's like certain, like, yeah, there's like to move my body in certain ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just like, it's another way of just allowing my body to move and just tap into my own rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Now, in go-go dancing, do you find that there are also people who kind of like just objectify the go-go boys and it's kind of like an ick?
I'm sure it's there. It's just about like, it's just like with anything. Like,
that's true.
We're not like, it's when people are like too much or you're too touchy or it's something you're not inviting kind of thing.
I just hate that like non-consensual objectification. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine to be objectified as long as it's on your terms. Like, there are days when I'm just like, I'm literally a toilet, shit in my mouth.
Yeah.
But like, that's on my terms.
Yeah, exactly.
But when someone treats me that way without my permission, I'm like,
that's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I imagine the same thing with the go-go boys where guys would just come up to you and just like, hey, wanna fuck? Or I don't know how gay men sound. I'm not gay.
I'm like trying to
I like men, but I'm not gay.
I'm sure everybody's like, yeah, no, I know what you're saying though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like it's with anything. It's just like I know why I'm doing it, you know? Like, just I'm there to dance and like, liven up the crowd, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Is tipping part of the go-go boy?
I've noticed it. Like, I know in the States it is.
Tipping your go-go
tipping
boys?
Is just like, but I've noticed it. It's been like since I've gotten back, like since everything's opened up here, people have been doing that, and I'm just like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
Where they just like slip it into your jockstrap or something?
Yeah, they slip it in to that. Or if I'm like on a like. Certain parties like I'm on a stage, so like you're not, you're not.
You can't really reach. To the
but like,
stage.
But some people will come up with like, you know,
with their fives.
Just
go. What's the typical go-go boy outfit? Because when I think go-go boy, jockstrap, harness, like a pair of sneakers and ankle high socks.
That's your standard.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
That's the standard.
Is that the Go-Go Boy union rule?
Yes.
Because Go-Go Boys are union.
Exactly.
No, but I'm wondering, like, what are you wearing tonight for your Go-Go performance?
I'm definitely wearing a thong for one of them.
Cute.
Yeah, that's happening. That's for one of them. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm wearing for the other ones, but I'm just gonna look through my stuff.
Because you're like hosting Rangila, is it again?
Oh yeah. That's in and for Pride. Yeah.
When did you start Rangila again?
That was also that was 11 years ago.
Yeah. 11 years ago. Like, I just love the idea that, like, Rangila being like this dedicated space for queer brown people to just be themselves, even if there's like no actual dedicated like community center or whatever, which is like problem. But also the fact that you host this big ass gay brown Bollywood party, and like, fuck yes. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, there are times when I kind of just like, can I come over and, I don't know, wear a sari with henna, or is that cultural appropriation? Because it's so glam though, and I want it.
Oh no, it's stunning. Yeah.
Would I be able to go with henna and like, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just like,
sari.
yeah, like, I mean,
I would love
people do it, and I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to appropriate it, but it's so glam, and just like hearing all the gold, like
the bangles,
and all the jewelry just like hit each other, and it's just music to my ear.
100%.
Like, it's so cute, and all the henna it's so intricately designed on your hand. I'm like, oh my god, that's so
I know, right?
Cute. It takes so much patience, so much time.
I love it. Yeah, I get it done.
I don't know how to. You get it done every Pride.
Yes, my Pride tradition.
What are you getting done?
I get the henna. Like, I hire a henna artist, and she does
on your entire hand.
My hands, yeah. I just get it like this on both my hands.
Oh, like all the way to your elbow or something?
Depends.
To show how much you can fist.
So, yeah, exactly. Like only up till here. Yeah, exactly. No, and sometimes like I'll have it up to here, or like or I'll have it just like from here.
I would like it if you could just fist someone and it comes out as a henna design.
Right. That would be amazing. Oh my god.
I have yet to see a butthole that will automatically do henna on the entire arm.
That is one special butthole. Oh
that'll be mine.
Yeah.
My butthole has semi-retired from the 15-year-old. Clearly not, since it's still dripping with your cum inside of me after you like came twice.
Yeah.
Which I'm like very grateful that you came twice. It's a bit of a compliment.
No, yeah, it was like I said, it was just like
it's an honor.
It was fun. It was just flowing. I'm like, this is happening.
The correct response is it's an honor to.
Yeah.
It's an honor to come for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and also like to throw it back to our previous session, the way you made me orgasm 4 times within the 2 hours, I was like, I've never been so drained and craving poutine. As much as that session, I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
My eyes rolled to the back of my head, and you did it simply by making out with me, which just goes to show that not every orgasm is genital focused.
Exactly.
You know, I think it was a nipple orgasm, it was an eargasm, it was a cock orgasm, and an ass orgasm. And I just like, I left your apartment, I was like, I really need mac and cheese right now with bacon bits and garpar. Like,
yes. Oh, that's amazing.
I know. Thankfully that there's like that restaurant right outside your house, and it's just absolutely a blessing. And speaking of blessings, it is just such a blessing to be part of, like, for you to be part of my life.
Oh my god! I know, this is me too. I'm very grateful for our connection.
Yeah, like. I like that you and I can be friends, and I don't have to pay you to be my friend.
Yeah.
Like, we're just friends. We can just be friends, and also we can cultivate this nice, authentic, sexual, erotic and intimate space for each other. And, you know, like whenever we're not together, I do miss you.
Aww.
I think about you.
I miss you too.
Like when you're away, like when you were in Calgary, I was like, wonder when he's coming back. I'd like him to come back. So I can hire him and then we can just like
Yeah.
And fuck.
That's right.
Oh my god. So I'm about to leave your apartment to go volunteer.
Oh my god.
Gross. It's, you know what? I treasure every single time that we have. And I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to end this recording, this conversation, other than I love you, Raj.
I love you too. You're
So
amazing.
much.
Thank you. This is an awesome conversation.
Thanks for listening to the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Sex Ed with Tim is created and produced by me, Tim Lagman. Music is Aces High by Kevin MacLeod. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GaySlutClown and at Sex Ed with Tim. You can also like and follow me on the Sex Ed with Tim Facebook page. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for all your support, you dirty little slut. Mwah.